I'm in the same room. It's still dark outside. And I'm still wearing a dark shirt. It's a different shirt. On a different day. I'm not that pitiful. But I am back playing the same game again. And it is time for Bermp to continue into adolescence. I'm so tired. I'm also an idiot because I accidentally deleted the settings on my microphone, so I had to set those up again before I got back here. Alright. So Stefan's arrival. During lunch, your father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather. Frick. Can I do your voice while my voice is like this? As well as a noble friend of the family. You're excited about your brother's return. No, you're not. You're not, Bermp. You will not be excited. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during these years away? You don't want to know how. You and your father await the guests anxiously. Doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather's the first to come in, naturally. He's not changed a bit since his last visit. Everything in the house, still eyeing everything in the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. But we earned his respect last time. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Wow, he looks like a... Oh, I want to say it. I'm not going to say it. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You've heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Augustin Elborn, Stefan's uncle, a family friend, and the province's prefect, which means that he is the head judge and thus father superior. Sir Elborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. Yes, this must be your youngest son, Bermps, yes? Stupid name, by the way. You should be ashamed of yourself. You have your father's eyes, young man. If only you had his name. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir Elborn. But there's a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There is a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We're noblemen oughtn't put our emotions on public display, father. Not even for such a lengthy separation. There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to father curtly. He responds in kind, and his face devoid of emotion. Mother's hand, and Gloria's too, he kisses Mother's hand and Gloria's hand too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding behind the table. Grandfather acknowledges him with a glum nod. By the way, how old are we? We are 10 years old right now. And with a glum nod, Stefan says, Greetings, little Brante. I remember you were kind of me when I was a child. Are you that brave Nathan? You could barely walk, but I left for you. His talking has just gotten worse. This guy's high society is killing him. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. Piece of garbage. I may be 10 years old, but I still got bowels. Get ready for a truckload coming your direction. Piece of stupid. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Elborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. Dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You truly have a refined palate. Warms my heart to know that Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork seizes the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at Grandfather. He looks like he is about to choke on these words.
It will do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals.
Please, Gregor. Parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love, I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan. But there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always best. After all, Robert and the judges rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the
clumsy, low-born Crichton.
You're getting too old for this, dude. You're gonna spaz out and fall over on us. Everybody's startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He is glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket.
Be gone this instant!
The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again.
The pair of her servants have left us, and dinner is far from over.
Well, not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink.
Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She is sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts for too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair.
The Brante gentleman so wishes it.
Hate that. Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It's all Grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace Father without his permission. And yet they are noblemen, and they have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. Do I join Gloria? Do I make small talk? Nah, we're done with this crap. We're done with this crap. You grab Gloria by the arm and keep her seated. Stefan turns a puzzled gaze towards you. With a wry smile, you open your mouth.
Stefan, how did you have the gall to speak without Sir Gregor's permission? Surely you wouldn't even answer nature's call without his leave.
Stefan looks at Grandfather, completely flabbergasted. Yeah, that's right. And then chaos. Oh, this will be fun. Grandfather roars with fury. Father stares you down with a disappointed look on his face. Gloria tries again and again to contain her laughter. Nathan hides under the table. Elborn is unsure of what to do. Welcome to the family, dude. Yeah, Stefan looks like he is about to cry. Then Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the dining room. You expect, let me make sure everything's still going good over here. Yep. Okay. You expect to be locked in your room as usual, but instead she leads you outside to an unlit shed. I'm locking you here for the night, son. Your presence tonight would be an insult to our noble guest. It is time you learned the meaning of humility. You do your best to fall asleep in the shed on the cold wooden floor. Anything to make this rotten day end sooner. Grandfather's cries of outrage can still be heard from inside the house. Gloria sneaks out to the shed in the middle of the night. She calls to you from behind the wooden planks. There's gratitude in her voice. I'll be nicer to her voice right now.
I never thought you would defy them like that. Thank you so much for standing up to them. Sir Gregor got so mad he forgot all about me, so I ran away. Sir Elborn took Stefan away with him. How are you doing, and now? You're not going to freeze to death, are you?
It's nothing It's nothing you tell her, you'll live. The important thing is that grandfather and Stefan finally left her alone. You defended your sister's honor tonight. But here's part of the problem, though, is like I've probably exhausted my willpower again. And I've made things worse with all the noblemen, which means life is probably going to be hard. So I have stepped up to bad blood. Great. And I defy the elder brother, and he holds a grudge against me. Screw him. But, like, Glory is like my best friend. Like, we are freaking buddies. Yeah, and I'm bright. And I didn't lose any willpower. I don't know that I have any willpower to lose. Alright, we're gonna do one. This will probably be a shorter one because my throat is not liking me right now. A dropped handkerchief. A hot, dry wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands around it. Noble residents of Anazote prefer to remain in their chambers while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. That's fine. I don't mind Dad so much. I mean, we're not like buddies, but like, you know, I don't mind him. Tomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. I don't think... Who's peeing? Yeah, we don't really have a ton of relations here. I don't really have a ton of relations with much of anybody. I have not met you yet. This will be very interesting. But what I want to see is how much... I've got a little bit of willpower. I'm still exhausted. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazote where the noble lives. So here you are in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Tomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. What was your accent?
It's hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back on a workman's day and night and hoping someone will buy you good someday, or you become a maidservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life.
That's right. We don't. This is your lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer, but Tomas waves your words away. I feel like the way that we've been playing so far, it would be the other way around, that Tomas would be reminding me of that, because I'm kind of the ballsy one that opposes the authority.
Yeah, I know that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble in our strength and patience and persistence. Oh, yeah, I say. But I want to make my own fortune no matter what. So, how ain't that living my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you for example. Brante, your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hand. You never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot, so we're supposed to suffer the same. Or look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the perfection day and night doing his judging, and he's a noble. I never seen an Arachnean work as hard as he does.
Yeah, that's true. You shrug. The Arachneans are a different race. The books say they were born to rule over humans. Oh, gotcha. Okay. They are never commoners, always nobles by the sword of birth. That makes more sense. Okay. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arachneans are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. Interesting. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is like not just like a completely different race of like humans, like the way that we think of race. This is like different types of creatures almost that are still able to reproduce with humans. Okay. So that's why it's such a big deal, because it's not only like crossing like these cultural boundaries, but it's also crossing like a biological boundary, you would see. Okay. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on a field of vert. It makes you squirm. It's the Archduke's coat of arms. The Melendez dynasty. The carriage opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. All right. Not my type, but okay. Those dainty shoulders suggested, but not revealed by the cut of her dress. Her back, that is 100% revealed by the cut of her dress. Her black hair cascading over them. Oh, that makes more. Well, no, it doesn't. Her stately, slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night sky, the way she moves fluidly, gracefully. Most incredible of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Archnean. Clear away from me. I feel like she's like a failed opera singer. The Melandia's guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Archnean lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in a bizarre pattern. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water.
Well, I'll be that Octavia Melendez, our Archduke's own daughter.
The Archnean turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestone right next to you. Her handkerchief. It's right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric. Delicately decorated. I can't do it because I don't have the personality I need. Oh man, I've been such an a-hole for so long. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw this beautiful Archnean's attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? I feel like for him, like, he's shown that he wants it, so he's going to see it. It's not going to be like he's going to sell it later. I think he's going to keep it as a memento. Hopefully this is not a bad thing. You carefully observe Lady Octavia as she leaves. Her delicate figure moves through the square like a walking dream, her elegant hands gliding through the air, her hair flowing in the light breeze. Your eyes watch all of her. She returns to the carriage, leaning on a guardsman's shoulder. She gracefully climbs back inside. Ooh, that helped. Yes. Oh, that helped a lot. Ooh, yay. Okay. The soft handkerchief feels warm in your hand. You fold it carefully and hide it in your pocket. The carriage drives away, marked by the thudding rhythm of hooves. Until that day, you associated Melendez dynasty with nothing but indifferent cruelty. But now, your breast pocket holds a proof of yet another quality they possess: beauty. Let me tell you something. I'm not one of those guys that just like oohs and ahs over like every beautiful woman, but like we notice when there's a beautiful woman, and I don't think it's a bad thing to like acknowledge. I don't think it's being like, oh, sexy. I want to put my lips and hands and no, but I think it's okay to acknowledge, yeah, that's a beautiful woman. I think it's okay to acknowledge the beauty that God has made. Do I want to keep going? Ooh, maybe I do want to keep going. 12 years old now, you overhear an important conversation. It's a spring night and Mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past Father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling and Father is replying quietly. The elder Brante men are fighting, arguing about the place of the commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid Mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you too. You don't want that, dude. You don't want them to mention you too. Alright, I think I am going to finish out this interaction right here, and then I need to go to bed because my voice is killing me. especially with all these accents.
That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me to visit and to beg me for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim to the chairman's seat in a lesser quorum. How dare he?
Father, please listen, Mayor Egmont. Egmont. That would have been a good idea. That would have been a great idea for a name. Egmont Brante. That's a stupid name. Not as stupid as Bermp, but still stupid. Mayor Egmont may be lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns five iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum.
I don't give a who this Egmont is, Robert. What he is, however, is a low boy. His lot of humility and obedience. Apparently mine is being a total jackwagon, a-hole poopy butt brains, the likes of whom can never rule anything. They are nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm little hand to guide them. I wasted so many years trying to quash the quorum decree. That cursed colonialist Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. Low lifes can wield power. True power, Robert.
Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. Oh, I can't do the voice right now, guys. You're just gonna have to imagine me doing it. I'll do it later. That is only the beginning, but what next? Are they going to arm lowlifes now, make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations and the lots, the entire edifice will crumble. But who am I telling this to? It's already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, a harbinger of its destruction. Father, I am begging you. I do not wish to marry a third time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children. If you would only allow her to, I'll allow them nothing. Neither Egmont nor the freeloading wretch of yours. Why don't you shut your mouth? Don't sleep with your mouth open, dude. What will you do to me next? Live by the laws of the lowborn. I can already see where this is going, and I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where the nobles and lowlifes share the same rights. Something like that idea don't sound half bad, dude. My only dream is to see the name of Brante in the Blue Book. That dream will never come true. They will never call me Venerable El Brante. It's all because of that marriage of yours. My only hope is to now hear Stefan addressing in such a manner one day. Like the twins, I didn't let you ruin the boy. He's about to grow up to be a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Brante. You have 2 more grandsons. Ugh, I'm just gonna read. I can't do it anymore. Those spineless milksops with a common lot, they're incapable of anything. The best your middle son can do is to sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle, although I have great doubts about even that. For the downtrodden Nathan, I hold out no hope for him whatsoever. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane, and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Wow. Okay. Alright, so we're... Please end. Please end. Oh, my throat. You start studying at the school of Sir Tibor and begin to master the sciences. Can you master medicine and give me something for my throat or end this? Okay. We're gonna end here for now. I love this game and I want to keep playing. Let's take a look at everything real quick, and because I'm curious to know like how well or how crappy I'm doing at things. Overseer and power, the current balance of power. Okay, so currently There's some political changes going on that I just need to be aware of. Alright, so the old faith is still very strong right now. I imagine that as I get older, I'll be able to influence that a little bit. Peace is still fairly strong. My relations haven't really changed any. So let's take a look at my personality. Alright, so I'm a lowborn, I am unprincipled. I have ingenuity. My spirituality is mundane. But I have a good bit of willpower right now, and I'm back ready for action. It's about time too, because I've worn this poor kid out. He's not had a will to live for a while. So I'm glad that I can give him something now. Alright. So I'm going to call it here for now, and I appreciate you guys joining in, and I will see y'all later. I've enjoyed this. It's been great. Bye.